In the city of London, a luxury boutique that only opened its doors for the rich and elegant quickly became the stage of an unexpected lesson when something no one expected happened. The boutique's manager humiliated and kicked out Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, and what happened next completely changed the meaning of true luxury, kindness, and elegance. Michelle Andrew, the boutique's manager, took pride in her position. Every morning she made sure the clothes were perfectly displayed, the floors sparkled, and the staff looked polished. She loved her job because it gave her the opportunity to connect with the rich and noble in the society. But she had a flaw. She judged people by their appearances.
You got nice stuff.
Thank you.
How much is this?
I don't think this would fit you.
Well, I didn't ask if it would fit. I asked how much it was.
How much is this, Marie?
It's very expensive.
It's very expensive.
It was a bright Saturday morning. Michelle stood behind the counter, sipping her favorite drink as she watched customers go through the racks of designer clothing. Her keen eyes turned to the door as it opened softly. A woman who was dressed in a plain and damp coat stepped inside. Her dark hair was tied back in a loose manner, and her handbag looked rough and old. She was not putting on expensive jewelry or makeup, and her shoes were simply flats. Michelle frowned slightly immediately she saw her. This woman didn't look like the type of customer the boutique usually served. She reluctantly approached her with a smile, though her voice carried a tone of sharpness. "Good morning. May I help you?" The woman gave a smile and polite response. "No, thank you. I'm just looking around." Michelle's smile became tightened as she wasn't used to people just looking around in the boutique. The place catered for serious people who wouldn't hesitate to spend millions of dollars on a single dress. "Well," Michelle said, with her voice a little bit colder, "this boutique is known for its exclusive and special collections. If there's something in particular you're interested in, I can assist you." Michelle's response didn't seem to offend the woman. "I'll let you know if I need anything," she politely replied. She again turned her attention to the clothes on the racks as she looked further. Michelle became angry as she watched the woman. She thought the woman looked casual and too relaxed for a place like that. She decided to keep a close eye on her. As the woman moved around the store, she stopped in front of a display that featured a stunning pink gown. The dress shined under the boutique's soft lighting with its beautiful beading that caught the eye. As the woman reached out to touch the gown, her fingers brushed against the delicate material. Michelle bumped in before she could lift the dress from the rack. "I'm sorry," she said sharply. "This dress is part of our exclusive and premium collections. It is very expensive, and we prefer customers not to touch it unless they really want to buy it." The woman looked surprised, but quickly recovered. "I see," she said gently. "Thank you for informing me." She immediately turned and walked towards the door without saying another word. Michelle watched her leave with a bold smirk on her face. She quickly turned to one of the staff members that stood nearby. "Can you believe the guts of some people?" she said. "She came in here dressed like that, as if she belonged." The staff member reluctantly nodded in agreement. Michelle returned to her work and forgot about the incident. Little did she know that the woman she just dismissed so rudely was not an ordinary customer. She was Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, but better known as Kate Middleton. 1 week later, Michelle was busy arranging new displays of handbags when the boutique's phone rang. One of the sales representatives answered it, then turned to Michelle with her eyes wide open. "It's Lady Fiona," she whispered joyfully. Lady Fiona was known to be one of the most influential women in London society. She was known for her wealth and incredible taste. To have received a call from her was a big deal. Michelle immediately adjusted her suit and picked up the phone. "Good morning, Lady Fiona. How can I assist you today?" "Good morning," Lady Fiona replied with an elegant tone. "I'd like to book an exclusive and private shopping session for a special guest. It's someone very dear to me, and I want to give her the best experience possible." Michelle's heart raced. A private session for your guest could mean publicity for our boutique. "Of course, Lady Fiona," she replied eagerly. "We would be honored to have you and your guest. May I ask who the guest is?" "You'll see when we arrive, but make sure everything is perfect," Lady Fiona said mysteriously. Michelle assured her that everything would be perfect. As soon as she dropped the phone, she began to dish out orders to her staff. She told them the boutique had to be spotless and the displays had to be fascinating. This was all in a bid to impress Lady Fiona and her guest. The day of the appointment came, and Michelle stood by the entrance, her heart nervously beat. The boutique shone under the bright lights, and the air was filled with the scent of fresh flowers. The doorbell sounded, and Michelle's heart skipped a beat as Lady Fiona walked in. She looked gorgeous as ever. "Welcome, Lady Fiona," Michelle said, her voice very bright and cheerful. "Thank you, Michelle," Lady Fiona said with a smile. She moved aside and pointed to the woman behind her. "May I introduce our special guest?" Michelle's smile vanished as soon as she saw who it was. It was the woman in the damp coat, the same woman she had insulted some days ago, but this time she was not putting on sunglasses, and Michelle immediately recognized her face. It was Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge. Michelle's heart sank, and her face turned pale. She struggled to find her words. Your Highness," she stammered. I didn't realize. I mean, it's such an honor to have you here." Kate Middleton smiled politely. Her expression was calm and composed. "Good morning," she said. "It is lovely to be back." Michelle felt a wave of panic over her. She remembered how she had treated Kate Middleton rudely during her previous visit. She felt the urge to apologize, but didn't know where to start. "Your Highness, please permit me to personally assist you for today," she said, trying to sound confident. Kate Middleton's smile did not waver, and her tone was firm. "Thank you, but I'll be fine with Lady Fiona's help," she said. Michelle nodded as her face appeared to have burned with embarrassment. She stepped aside as Kate Middleton and Lady Fiona began to browse the store. Things got worse when a journalist walked in halfway through their shopping. He already heard about the private booking. While he snapped photos of the boutique's display, they whispered to an assistant and asked about the Duchess's previous visit. The assistant innocently gave a report of the story and never realized the journalist was gathering materials for an exclusive feature. The other staff members looked on as Kate Middleton moved through the boutique. She was gracious and kind. She asked questions and complimented the designs. Even with her status, she treated everyone in the boutique with utmost respect, and her warmth put the staff at ease. Michelle stood at the counter. She felt like a fool as she had judged Kate Middleton based on her appearance. She had assumed she wasn't important or wealthy. Now, she just realized just how wrong she had been. When it was time to pay, Kate Middleton walked up to the counter with her purchases in hand. Michelle hesitated, unsure of what to say. Kate Middleton broke the silence. "You have a beautiful boutique," she said, her tone polite. "Thank you, Your Highness," Michelle replied, her voice shaking slightly. Kate Middleton looked at her and said, "I trust in the future, everyone that will walk into this boutique will be treated with the same measure of kindness and respect, regardless of how they are dressed. True luxury is not just about the clothes you sell, but how you make people feel," she said. Michelle felt ashamed. "You're absolutely correct, Your Highness," she said quietly. "I promise to do better." Michelle nodded, paid for her items, and immediately left the boutique with Lady Fiona. The staff remained quite silent for a moment, then turned to Michelle with their faces filled with curiosity. "Was that really Kate Middleton?" whispered one of them. "Yes," Michelle replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I made a very terrible mistake." News of the incident spread quickly across the streets of London and its social circles. Michelle's behavior became public knowledge and sparked social media storm about kindness and respect. The story began with whispers among Lady Fiona's close relations, many of whom were regulars at the boutique. Within a few hours, the tale of how the Duchess of Cambridge had been humiliated by the boutique's manager spread like wildfire. What began as ordinary gossip soon found its way onto social media platforms, where it gained traction. The journalist who had overheard the details during the private shopping session wrote an article titled, "Duchess Humiliated at Luxury Boutique," a lesson that spoke about judging by appearances. The article drew attention to Michelle's behavior. It was in total contrast with Kate Middleton's grace and humility. The journalist subtly called out the boutique for its lack of inclusivity. He also questioned whether exclusivity should come at the cost of basic decency. The public was also quick to react. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook exploded with opinions and hashtags that trended within hours. People shared their own stories of being judged by appearances, which turned the incident into a viral conversation about how society values outward appearances over inner worth. The backlash was not limited to social media. Popular figures in London's fashion and social circles began to distance themselves from the boutique. Customers also canceled their appointments, and influencers who had once proudly flaunted their purchases from the boutique now criticized it for creating an unwelcoming atmosphere. One tweet that stood out among the many reactions was from a prominent philanthropist who wrote, "If the Duchess of Cambridge, who was known for her kindness and simplicity, can be treated this way, imagine how they treat those without a title. Kindness should always be in fashion." Michelle, who was ignorant of the news, was in her office where she reviewed inventory. She received a call from the boutique's owner, Mr. Bernard John. Bernard, who was a British businessman and known for his no-nonsense approach, didn't mince words. "Michelle," he began, his voice very sharp, "what have you done? I've received plenty of emails, phone calls, and messages about this incident. It's all over the news and our reputation is at stake." Michelle's heart sank. "Mr. Bernard, I didn't realize—" "You didn't realize you were insulting the Duchess of Cambridge?" he asked. "How could you not recognize her? And even if you didn't, what gave you the right to treat any customer that way?" Michelle stammered as she struggled for words, but Bernard continued, "Do you know how much damage you've caused? Our sales are down. You've jeopardized everything I've built." The sentiment resonated with thousands and further intensified the attack against the boutique. Michelle took matters into her own hands. She released a public apology and stated how she deeply regretted her actions and acknowledged the hurt she had caused. Many people praised Kate Middleton for her grace and kindness, even in Michelle's show of arrogance. The boutique began to experience a growth in customer patronage after the public apology. Everyone became eager to stop at the place where the Duchess of Cambridge had been, but for Michelle, she experienced a humbling one. She had learned not to judge people by their appearances. Right from that day on, Michelle treated every customer with the same care and respect, no matter how they looked. While she felt embarrassed about her mistake, she, however, was grateful for the chance to learn and grow. Kate Middleton's visit had left a lasting impression and reminded everyone at the boutique the true meaning of elegance and class. What do you think about the incident that happened between the manager and Kate Middleton? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the following video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.
Kate Middleton, the woman we have watched navigate royal life with unfailing grace, found herself frozen by a reporter's bold question. The practiced smile and elegant composure of our future queen was gone. Instead, witnesses saw a flash of raw emotion cross her face. As the moment ripples through social media, even royal watchers are holding their breath. What could have possibly been asked to rattle a princess who has faced the world's scrutiny with such steady nerves? Join us in this video as we look into the dilemma of the Duchess of Cambridge. The interview. The scene unfolded during what should have been a routine visit to the Royal London Children's Hospital, where the Princess of Wales was inaugurating a new cancer research wing. Dressed in her signature professional style, a tailored navy blazer and matching skirt, Catherine had spent the morning doing what she does best: connecting with young patients, chatting with medical staff, and bringing her characteristic warmth to every interaction. It was during the final moments of her visit, as she was preparing to depart, that a reporter from the crowd called out a question that stopped her in her tracks. The usually composed princess, known for handling even the most challenging situations with diplomatic finesse, visibly faltered. Her security detail immediately tensed, and her private secretary stepped forward protectively. The atmosphere changed in an instant, recalled Sarah Thompson, a nurse who witnessed the incident. You could have heard a pin drop. It was like all the air had been sucked out of the room. While palace protocol typically prevents direct comment on personal matters, what made this particular exchange extraordinary was not just the question itself, but the raw humanity it exposed in a woman who has mastered the art of public composure. For a brief moment, the carefully maintained mask of royal protocol cracked, revealing the very real person beneath the crown. The timing of this incident is particularly sensitive, coming just weeks after her recent health announcement. As footage of the moment spreads across social media platforms, royal watchers and critics alike are analyzing every nuance of her reaction. The palace has yet to issue an official statement, but sources close to the royal family indicate that this incident may prompt a review of media guidelines at royal events. Such media intrusions into royal privacy have become a pattern, with reporters frequently overstepping boundaries. When Prince William encountered a similar situation recently, his reaction stood in direct contrast to the princess's reaction today. Let's find out. Kate's current health condition. In a recent public appearance, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, stated in response to an interview that his wife, Princess Kate, was doing very well in her recovery. This information came months after Princess Kate was diagnosed with a type of cancer that has been left undisclosed. The prince was interviewed during his visit to St. Mary's Community Hospital on the Isles of Scilly in southwest England. He was calm, smiled, and reassured that the princess was progressing favorably in her recovery journey. This brief health update holds particular significance following Kate's candid video announcement regarding her cancer diagnosis, which came to light after what was initially described as a planned abdominal surgery. This news was delivered through Kensington Palace on March 22nd, revealing not only the diagnosis, but also highlighted the princess's ongoing preventative chemotherapy treatment, which commenced in late February. The moment the Prince of Wales appeared at St. Mary's Community Hospital, it was an opportunity to catch a glimpse into the royal family's current situation. While the prince was being guided through the facility by Administrator Tracy Smith, interviewers seized the moment to ask questions about the princess's condition, to which he responded positively, making it the first time he was answering to such a question publicly. The public has always been interested in the affairs of the royals, and so Kate's absence from public engagements since Christmas Day 2023 had initially sparked considerable public interest, which was finally addressed through a carefully planned video message released in March 2024. The announcement revealed a significant health journey that began with a major abdominal surgery in London during January, initially believed to be for a non-cancerous condition. Subsequent medical tests, however, led to the discovery of cancer, prompting the medical team to recommend a course of preventive chemotherapy. The timing of this announcement was deliberately chosen by the royal family, allowing them to process the diagnosis privately and address it appropriately with their 3 children: Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. The decision to maintain privacy during this period is the family's way of creating a supportive environment for their children while dealing with this unexpected health challenge. This approach reflected the royal family's commitment to balancing their public responsibilities with their children's emotional well-being. The princess's message struck a delicate balance between transparency and maintaining necessary medical privacy, as specific details about the type of cancer were not disclosed. Her communication emphasized both her determination to recover and her anticipation of eventually returning to her public duties, which have been a source of personal fulfillment throughout her royal career. This period of treatment has necessitated a temporary step back from her official engagements, with the princess focusing entirely on her recovery journey. During this time, Prince William has continued his royal duties, including a notable visit to St. Mary's Community Hospital on the Isles of Scilly. His engagement there centered on the development of a new integrated health and social care facility, designed to enhance local health care access and reduce mainland travel requirements for patients. This facility, scheduled for completion by summer 2025, represents a significant improvement in regional health care provision, allowing residents to receive comprehensive care closer to home. Unlike before, the royal family's handling of this situation has demonstrated their modern approach to dealing with personal health challenges, while maintaining their public roles, setting a precedent for transparency while preserving the dignity and privacy necessary for medical treatment and family adjustment. This modern approach seems more appropriate because the palace is not a stranger to receiving news of tough health challenges and even terminal diseases. It is almost becoming a generational trend, and there are more shocking details to unravel. Stay tuned. A bit of the royal family health history. The British royal family started off the year with heartbreaking health news testing their resilience while under the intense scrutiny of public attention. The story began to unfold on January 16th, when Kate, Princess of Wales, underwent what was initially described as planned abdominal surgery at the London Clinic, a prestigious private medical facility in the heart of London near Regent's Park. The timing of the announcement was significant, as Kensington Palace waited until the following day to inform the public, emphasizing that while the surgery was successful, the princess's condition would require an extended recovery period. The palace's communication strategy was clear but measured, indicating that the 42-year-old royal would likely remain absent from public duties until after Easter, falling on March 31st this year. Initially, officials maintained that the condition wasn't cancerous, though specific details about the surgery remained private. It gets even more interesting. The situation became more complex when, in a remarkable coincidence, King Charles was admitted to and discharged from the same hospital as Catherine, with both leaving on January 29th. This parallel health journey would take on new meaning when, in February, Buckingham Palace announced that the king had been diagnosed with cancer, less than 18 months into his reign following Queen Elizabeth II's passing in September 2022. The palace maintained discretion about the stage of the king's cancer, though they confirmed his step back from public engagements to focus on treatment. Adding to the family's health concerns, Sarah, Duchess of York, and Prince Andrew's former wife, revealed her own battle with malignant melanoma on January 21st, highlighting the extraordinary confluence of health challenges facing the royal family in early 2024. As weeks passed without public appearances from the Princess of Wales, speculation began to mount. A brief glimpse of Catherine on March 4th in Windsor, seated beside her mother, Kate Middleton, in a car, did little to quell public curiosity. In an attempt to address growing speculation, the couple released a family photograph on Mother's Day, featuring Catherine with her 3 children. However, this effort backfired when news agencies withdrew the image due to apparent manipulation, leading to a personal apology from the princess the following day for editing the photograph. This sudden twist of fate feels particularly touching, given Kate's long-standing dedication to a course that no one could have anticipated: Kate's commitment to healthcare. Ever since Kate joined the royal family back in 2011, she's shown she has a big heart, especially when it comes to helping sick children. Her first big project was visiting kids at London's Royal Marsden Hospital, a place known worldwide for treating cancer patients. She did not just go about doing the usual royal wave, but really spending time with young patients going through tough treatments. This wasn't just any random choice of hospital either. Her husband William has been involved with the hospital since 2007, following in his mom, Princess Diana's footsteps. Kate picked up right where Diana left off, bringing her own special touch to cheering up kids who really needed it. But Kate didn't stop there. She became a regular face at children's hospices, especially at East Anglia's children's hospices. Now, hospices might sound scary to some people, but Kate has helped show everyone what these places really are. Somewhere families can get help when they're going through really tough times with seriously ill kids. When Kate visits these places, she's not just there for the photos. She gets down on the floor to do arts and crafts with the kids, chats with worried parents, and really listens to what the nurses and doctors have to say. The narrative about hospices has now changed, thanks to Kate. People no longer view it as a sad place, but somewhere families can find support and care when they need it most. What makes Kate different from many other royals is how she really gets involved. She's not afraid to sit and play with sick kids, give hugs to worried moms and dads, or roll up her sleeves to help raise money for these important places. She's shown up at fundraisers, shared stories about the amazing work these places do, and gotten more people to understand why they need our support. These days, Kate's work means even more to people because she's been open about her own health struggles. When she talks to families now, they know she really understands what it's like to go through tough medical times. She is not just a princess talking about health care. She is someone who really gets it. Year after year, Kate keeps showing up for sick kids and their families. She's not doing it because she has to, but because she really cares. Whether she's visiting hospitals, supporting healthcare workers, or speaking up about why kids' health matters so much, she's making a real difference in her own down-to-earth way. When it comes to helping sick kids, Kate brings something special to the table. She's not just interested in making sure kids get better physically. She knows there's way more to it than that. Let's take a closer look at how she's changing the way we think about children's health care. Every time Kate steps into a hospital, she makes it clear that helping kids get better isn't just about medicine. She knows that being sick is scary for kids, and sometimes they need someone to talk to about their worries just as much as they need their medicine. The princess visited Great Ormond Street Hospital in London back in 2018. This place is like a superhero headquarters for treating sick kids. When Kate showed up, she didn't just cut ribbons and make speeches. She got down on her knees to talk to kids at their eye level, making them feel like they were the most important people in the room. She opened their new medical center too, but what everyone remembers is how she sat and really listened to kids in intensive care, sharing jokes and bringing smiles to some pretty tough situations. At Evelina London Children's Hospital in 2019, Kate rolled up her sleeves and joined in with art therapy sessions. Picture this: a princess sitting at a tiny table, painting and chatting with kids like she's known them forever. She became their royal patron that year, but she acts more like a friendly visitor who just happens to wear a crown sometimes. What makes Kate different is how she plans these visits. She doesn't just pop in for 5 minutes and leave. She thinks carefully about how to make each visit count. Sometimes she'll spend ages talking to one family because she can see they need it. Other times, she'll join in with play therapy, getting creative with the kids and helping them forget they're in hospital for a while. The real magic happens when Kate talks to the hospital staff. She asks tons of questions about how they're helping kids deal with being scared or sad about their treatment. She wants to know everything, from how they help parents cope, how siblings are supported, what happens when families are struggling with money while their kid is sick. It's like she's building a big picture of what families really need when they're going through tough times. And she doesn't just listen. She uses what she learns to make changes happen. When she spots something that could be done better, she talks to the right people about it. She has helped get more support for things like play therapy and family counseling in hospitals. She has even made hospitals to think more about how to make their buildings less scary for kids, adding bright colors, play areas, and quiet spaces where families can take a break. The best part? Kate remembers people. Families who've met her often say how amazed they are that she remembers their names and asks about specific things they told her last time. She keeps track of kids' progress and celebrates their victories, big and small. Whether it's finishing a course of treatment or just having a good day, she is there cheering them on. Through all of this work, Kate is showing everyone a new way of thinking about children's health care. And for the families going through these tough times, having someone like Kate in their corner makes a real difference. What started as regular royal visits has turned into something much bigger. A movement to make hospitals friendlier, kinder places where healing happens in all sorts of ways, not just with medicine. And that's exactly the kind of legacy Kate seems to want to leave. One where every sick child feels heard, supported, and cared for, not just as a patient, but as a person. These attributes of her makes her seem like she was born ready to be queen, but nobody is really born that way. What could have expanded her character that much? Was her relationship with the late queen anything to consider? There are information about their relationship that will leave us shocked. The bond between Queen Elizabeth and Catherine evolved into a meaningful mentorship, characterized by intimate conversations during their frequent afternoon gatherings at Kensington Palace. The late monarch's guidance proved invaluable as Kate prepared for her future role as queen consort. A significant milestone in their relationship occurred in 2019 when Catherine received the Dame Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order, symbolizing the Queen's recognition of her dedication to royal service. Their parallel approaches to public life became evident through their sartorial choices. The Queen, shaped by her wartime experiences, embraced practical fashion and garment reuse, while Catherine developed her signature style, blending heritage pieces with high-end fashion, creating a modern royal aesthetic. Their shared understanding of royal responsibilities fostered a deep mutual respect. Photography emerged as another common interest between the two women. The Queen's lifelong enthusiasm began in childhood with her first box brownie camera, while Catherine developed her artistic eye through family portraiture. Her passion spiked in leading the Hold Still initiative at the National Portrait Gallery during the COVID-19 lockdown, documenting British life during an unprecedented period. Both women demonstrated remarkable ability to unite and reassure the public during times of national uncertainty, albeit in their distinct ways. Their relationship exemplified the seamless transmission of royal traditions while embracing necessary modernization, creating a blueprint for the monarchy's future. Their shared commitment to duty, coupled with their individual approaches to public service, strengthened both the institution and their personal connection. The unique dynamic between Kate and Queen Elizabeth exemplified the monarchy's ability to adapt while maintaining its core traditions. Their relationship served as a stabilizing force during times of royal transition and public uncertainty. The Queen's mentorship proved particularly valuable as Catherine navigated her expanding responsibilities and prepared for her future role as queen consort. Their alliance demonstrated how intergenerational bonds can strengthen an institution, even as it faces modern challenges. While Catherine flourished under the Queen's guidance, she encountered more complex dynamics within the younger generation of royals. The well-documented tensions between Prince William and Prince Harry, particularly after the latter's marriage to Meghan, placed Catherine in a delicate position. She found herself balancing her loyalty to the crown with the personal complications of family discord. Despite these challenges, Catherine's relationship with the Queen remained a source of strength and direction. Their connection resonated with the public, who saw in their interactions a reassuring blend of tradition and progress. This partnership helped reinforce the monarchy's relevance in contemporary society, while their shared commitment to duty and discretion set a powerful example of royal service. The contrast between Catherine's harmonious relationship with the Queen and the more turbulent dynamics with her generation of the royal family highlights the complexities of modernizing an ancient institution while preserving its essential character and purpose. Why is this the case? Let's find out the complex relationship between Kate and Kate Middleton, who is now referred to as Catherine, Princess of Wales.